After writing 2 transformational books myself and supporting many other beings to do the same, I've become enthralled by the deep and mysterious magic that's activated when we choose to say yes to ourselves and commit to the book writing journey. Of course, we want to inspire change and new perspectives in our readers, but the transformation that happens as an author, both throughout the writing process and by actually releasing your book into the world, is surprisingly potent. I know I've been blindsided in the most disruptive and delicious ways by some of the changes my books have brought into my life. Writing a book is like casting a spell. Although we can never be completely sure what's going to be unleashed during the process, we choose to do it anyway. This Unbound one is a heroic journey. Each book has the potential to be a magical portal, a doorway to a new world, both for you and your reader. Each book has a very specific medicine that it's here to share with us. And each book gives us the opportunity to alchemize the magnificent imperfection of our experience into gold. The truth is that anyone can write a book. We could all get a few thousand words down and put them together. But what fascinates me is what happens when we allow the book writing process to go deeper. When we say, fuck it, get naked and dive way down beneath the surface. Letting go of the shoulds and any need to be acceptable, sensible, or approved of. What fascinates me is what happens when we make ourselves fully available to being transformed by the very act of writing a book. This is Unbound Writing, and this is the process we'll be exploring together here in the Unbound Writers Club. I'm Nicola Humber, author and founder of the Unbound Press, and I help magical beings to write the transformational book they're really here to write at this time. I'm your guide here in the Unbound Writers Club, and the aim of this podcast is to help you to feel supported, encouraged, activated as you embark on your book writing journey. Whether you're a first-time author or have many books out in the world, my hope is that you will find something here to inspire you. Let's dive in. Hello, Magical One, and welcome to the Unbound Writers Club. Our first episode of a new year, our first episode of 2024, and yeah, I'm really excited about the year ahead. Last year was our 5th anniversary at the Unbound Press, and moving into our 6th year, the next half of this first decade of the Unbound Press, we have been shifting things up a little bit. Things changed in 2023. And if you are feeling the call to write a book this year in 2024, if maybe you have already started the process, maybe stalled a little bit, maybe you have actually written one book or some books already, but you're feeling the call to bring through another one, or, you're right at the beginning of the journey. Like you have just been like having this knowing inside you that you are meant to write a book. Today, I want to share with you 3 different ways that you can work with us at the Unbound Press to birth your book in 2024, to get it written, to really embody yourself as the transformational author that you are here to be. And I want to talk about some of the changes that we've made, because some of my offerings have been in place for a long time. And towards the end of 2023, like I said, we shifted things around, and I just want to make sure that you know exactly what's available, like the different layers of what is available to you. So in 2023, like I said, we had our 5th anniversary at the Unbound Press. And I guess for me, a big part of that, even when I wasn't aware of it, was, tuning into, who are we? What do we offer? Who do we want to work with? How do we want to work with writers? what are our values? We tuned into our values at the beginning of 2023 even more clearly. How are we really allowing the energy of those values to stream through everything that we offer and how we operate? Like all of these things were bubbling for me and also for us as a team. I can't remember if I've shared our values on a podcast before, but it's helpful to kind of recap on those. And it's so helpful to get clear on what your own personal values are. And if you have a business, what are the values of your business? So for us at the Unbound Press, we have 4 core values, which are freedom, because of course, unbound, like that is kind of the guiding light for everything that we do. So freedom, creativity, again, we're a publishing company. We're all about writing and creating. Community, like community is so, like it's everything for us at the Unbound Press, about creating community, being in community, the magic that gets sparked in community. And generosity is the 4th one. And I don't think I'd really named that one before, but that is so important to me. It feels really abundant to operate from this place of generosity. So, we really honed in on those values at the beginning of 2023. And whenever you do something like that, whether it's your values, your intentions, whatever it is, they start to work their magic, don't they? Like without us even having to do anything in particular, like consciously, they began to just shift things around a bit. Like the energy started to shift, like for me personally and us as a team at the Unbound Press and within the community, because like we're all interconnected, aren't we? And what dropped in for me towards the end, I guess kind of the autumn of 2023, was this like vision, intention, goal even. I'm not a massive fan of the word goal. I don't know why. It feels a bit kind of linear. But anyway, I'm not going to get hung up on that. What dropped in for me was this desire to hold space for 1,000 magical writers to birth their books by May 2025. Now, I don't know where that date came from, but it just came. It just landed. I don't really know where the number 1,000 came from, but that just landed. When something just like drops in? I can't remember exactly when it happened. Like maybe I was in some visioning process. Maybe somebody had asked the question, like, what is your intention in your business? But it just dropped in so clearly. And I can feel it now, the clarity of that. We are here. I am here to hold space for 1,000 magical writers to birth their books by May 2025. Now, maybe not all of those books are actually out in the world by May 2025, but as a community, we are a community of 1,000, all committed to birthing our books, and that the community grows to 1,000 by May 2025. Like doubtless, many of those books will be out in the world by that day. And what really excites me is like the potential of that, like the level of change that gets to be activated when that many deeply transformational books are being sent out into the world. Because I know how powerful each one of the books that we've birthed through the Unbound Press is. I mean, they are here to shake things up. So far, we have birthed, how many is it? I always lose count. Around 50 books through the Unbound Press. Imagine the impact of 1,000 of those kind of books, those transformational books being birthed. Oh my goddess. But obviously, to do that, through our Done For You publishing packages, which is how we've been operating, like to hold space for that many books in that way, we would have to have a much bigger team. We would have to be a much bigger operation. I'm not saying it's not possible, but what was coming through for me is that we get to work with authors, with writers in different ways. So as well as offering our Done For You publishing packages, which we will continue to do, like it's the core of what we do at the Unbound Press, so important to us that we still get to offer that. But we will also have ways of supporting you to publish your book, like those who don't necessarily want to or aren't able to work with us on a done for you basis, because, you know, the investment for that is substantial. If that is not something that you want to do, then we can hold space for you to DIY the publishing process, to do it yourself, like to take the power into your own hands, and we will guide you through the process of exactly how to do that. So that is something new that we are going to be offering, that we are offering in 2024. I mean, my intention, well, I'll talk about my intention, but one of my frustrations has been over the past pretty much 5 years since we started the Unbound Press, is certainly with how the traditional publishing industry works, and that it's only available to some people to like publish their books with traditional publishers, but also even with the hybrid publishing field, which the Unbound Press is part of, like it's only available to a relatively few people because the nature of it, you know, the work that is involved, the different people that are involved in coming together and like really holding space and offering these like really high level, and it's really important to me that we offer a high level of service at the Unbound Press. For us to do that, the investment is, like I say, substantial. Our publishing packages start at around just over £3,000, which is not, you know, it's not an insignificant amount. So it's not available to everybody. And that hasn't sat that well with me, to be honest, because, you know, I know there's a lot of talk out there, particularly in the online space, that yes, there are people for like every level of investment, which I get, but also because of the values that we have, you know, freedom being one of them. Well, all of them really: freedom, creativity, community, generosity. I didn't just want to focus on offering like those higher level services. So I really want to open up the playing field. I know it's a cliche when it comes to publishing. And if we can put the power back into like magical Unbound writers' hands and make it much more easeful for you to publish your book, but still be part of a community and have that support, like guidance on how to actually go through the self-publishing, the DIY publishing process, and hook you up with some trusted partners, designers, editors, people to support you with your marketing, like whatever you need. If we can do that, then yes, let's do it. So that is a big part of what we're going to be doing or starting to do in 2024. So what this has meant, not just because of, you know, these changes that I've just spoken about, but what was also bubbling for me really from the summer of 2022 was like my core offering personally was the Unbound Writing Mastermind, which was a really intimate group experience that people would join and I would hold space for them to write their books. I mean, I'd been running that space since the summer, late summer of 2018. So, you know, it was older than the Unbound Press. And what was becoming apparent to me was that something new was wanting to come through. Like something about it started to feel heavy. And like that's quite hard for me to say because I freaking loved the Unbound Writing Mastermind. I loved every single person who was part of that space over the 5+ years that we were running it. Like it is such a special container of support, but I just had this knowing, this feeling that no, it was time for the Unbound Writing Mastermind to put its feet up, relax. It had done its work. It kind of set the foundations for what wanted to be built within the Unbound Writing community. And now actually it was time for some new kids on the blog to come in. Oh my goodness, I'm thinking of the band New Kids on the Block. I don't know if I don't know if that's really the vibe, but some fresh energy to come in. So that is another one of the decisions that I made in 2023, which was pretty terrifying actually, to let the members of the mastermind know that actually we were going to be retiring that space at the end of the year, and opening up some new community spaces and ways of being supported to write your book. The response was amazing. Like as often happens when we are scared of making a decision and sharing it, people get it. I so get it. And I've had so many people who've said to me, "Oh, it's really inspiring to see you like making changes and letting things go." So, that's just a side note. If you are thinking about feeling into making a big change, changing something around in your business, if you have one, and you're scared of how people will react, in my experience, people are generally like inspired and energized and totally get it when you shift things up a bit. It's such a powerful thing to do. So saying all of that, what is what is in the space in 2024? What is available? Well, there are 3 ways to work with us in 2024 if you are ready to write and publish your book. And the way I want to set the scene for this is like imagine the Unbound writing world or the Unbound press as this like gorgeous retreat venue, like a hotel, some kind of gorgeous sanctuary retreat that you get to come to. And the different offerings are kind of like different rooms, different spaces within that venue. So the first, like the venue can be like wherever you want it to be. I was going to say like this gorgeous place in the country, like a country house. But, you might prefer a seaside vibe or a mountain vibe. Imagine it, envision it in whatever way feels good for you. So the first offering we have, which is a new one, is our Unbound Writers Club membership. So I wanted to have a really accessible way of working with us that if somebody like was struggling to find the time to write, which I know it seems to be the number one challenge. Like when I ask people, what is kind of getting in the way of you writing your book, committing to writing your book, it's like finding the time. So I wanted to create a space where it was really, really simple. It's just about showing up and writing. And that's what the Unbound Writers Club membership is. So this space, like I want you to imagine in terms of the retreat center, this would be kind of like the communal areas, because like this is really the community space as well, where we get to come together, hang out and write. So thinking about the communal areas in the retreat center, there'll be like different little nooks and crannies that you can find to kind of make yourself comfortable and write. Maybe you want to cozy up on a sofa. Maybe you want to find a gorgeous writing desk. Maybe you want to go outside into the gardens, like whatever floats your boat. But the Unbound Writers Club membership is where we do it. We show up and we get into inspired action and we get writing, and we do that together. So in the Unbound Writers Club, we have 2 group writing sessions a month where we come together on Zoom. I open up the space with a meditation. Then we have dedicated time for writing before coming back at the end for a check-in. So you have 2 of those every month. If you can't make it live, you get access to the recording. And then we also have regular writing sprints or saunters. I might just start calling them Unbound Writing Saunters, actually, where over a certain period of time, the invitation is to write like every day, just for a short amount of time, like 5 minutes or plus every day during the writing sprint saunter. We're doing our first one at the moment, our January one. Sometimes that will be for like 30 days. It might be over the course of a week. Might be 21 days, we'll mix it up. There will be different flavors, but it's so simple. It's about showing up, getting your writing done, but doing it in a really joyful, creative, pleasurable way and being held in community. And we also have like our, gosh, nearly lost the words then, Facebook group, Unbound Writers Club, Inner Circle Facebook group, which is the community space where you get to connect with other writers. The brilliant thing about the membership is it's only £7 a month. So I got really inspired by the idea of mini memberships, which is something that Evelyn Weiss teaches. She's amazing. And like, I love the idea of having these really accessible mini memberships, of which the Unbound Writers Club is one. And yeah, it's just been amazing, the response to it so far. So if you just want to show up and write and be part of community, the Unbound Writers Club membership is for you. Then we have the second option, which is the Birth Your Transformational Book program. So this is a 12-month group program. It's open on a rolling basis, so you can join at any time. And the intention of Birth Your Transformational Book is that you have all of the support and coaching and guidance to take you right from the beginning of your book writing process. So, really formulating that initial idea right through to publishing and out in the world, and making sure that your book reaches the people it's meant to reach. So in this space, in terms of the retreat center, how I imagine this space, it's like a creative studio where it's a more intimate space and it's a more focused space. So we get to come together in that studio. I imagine it like there's light just beaming into the studio through these gorgeous glass windows. There's kind of these rainbows like bouncing off everywhere from the light that's streaming in, and each person is able to access this really powerful focus and clarity about their book, about what they're writing, what they're here to bring through. And like this really focused and clear group energy and shared intention supports each author to move from like the beginning of their process right through to book out in the world. So with Birth Your Transformational Book, like there is like training modules that take you right through the process. And you also have access to 2 group coaching calls per month. When you join Birth Your Transformational Book, you get 12 months access. So you can spend that 12 months really getting into momentum with your book and getting to a point of completion. Like completion is a big part of Birth Your Transformational Book. We move through 3 stages in the process. The first one is like conceiving the specific idea and really getting clear on that. The second one is actually being in creation mode and getting the book written. And the third one is completion. And that involves like bringing the book together, perhaps things like beta readers, like getting feedback on your manuscript, and also the publishing process. So that's where we will be like talking or teaching you the different ways to publish your book. And if you want to DIY the process, taking you through that step by step, like the different ways you can do that, and also hooking you up with like designers, editors, like people who can support you with that process. Really, really powerful. Like come and be in that creative studio with us. And again, like I really wanted to keep this accessible. So Birth Your Transformational Book is £77 per month over 12 months. So 12 installments of £77 per month, or you can pay in full and it's 777. So you get a bit of a discount when you pay in full as a bonus. So that is kind of, I guess, the signature program offering at the moment. So if that is speaking to you, if you know you want to birth your book in 2024, I would recommend jumping into Birth Your Transformational Book. We are getting started on January the 15th, which may already have passed when you hear this, but like I say, you can join at any time. And yeah, we're going to be going on that journey together. You also get access when you join Birth Your Transformational Book. You get access to the Unbound Writers Club membership as well. So you get to come along to the writing sessions. So you get to hang out in the communal areas as well. So you get access to the studio, a place filled with light and clarity and focused energy. But you also get to go and chill out and hang out in the communal areas, in the writers club, and connect and write together. And then the final way is it's our done for you publishing packages, which we have always offered. So these are for you if you want to go all in, you want that support, hand holding, like step-by-step guidance right through the publishing process. And actually, I always recommend, if this is something that's calling to you, that you connect with us and explore whether this would be a good possibility for you really early on in your process, right at the beginning of the writing, if you can. Having that publishing package in place is so supportive. And what we do is we take you right through the publishing process, from first draft, giving you notes and feedback on that, then right through editing, design, distribution. Most of our packages include support with marketing and PR as well. So to really, really help you bring the book together and birth it into the world as part of the Unbound Press family of authors. So we have different packages available and different levels of support. And the way I imagine the Unbound Press, done for you publishing packages, when someone steps into the Unbound Press family, in terms of the retreat venue, this is the library. You get to come into the library. Your book certainly gets to come into the library. And it's not an old, fusty library. It's this amazing, kind of cosmic library that you get to step into and be part of. Again, there is a lot of light streaming through this space. Each of the books is beaming out light, and you get to come into this really, really intimate space and be part of this family of authors who are changing the world. And the energy from that space radiates out into the whole venue. So everybody is kind of touched and immersed in that. Yeah, gorgeous. So if you are just really feeling the energy of that gorgeous retreat venue that is the Unbound Writing community. So yeah, those are the 3 different ways that you get to work with us in 2024 if you feel called. I am going to put them all in the links, or we will put them all in the show notes. I've got a bit carried away. I'm feeling a bit heady. They will all go in the show notes. And if you are not listening to this somewhere where you have access to the show notes, then if you head over to my Instagram, I'm at Nicola Humber, just DM me and I can hook you up with the right one, or let you know what the different links are, or they will all be in my link tree as well. So you can have a look at the link in my bio. But yeah, I would love you to be part of this community of writers. 1,000 magical writers writing world-changing books by May 2025. Whew, I hope you're feeling inspired. Like I say, I would love you to come and be part of it. Just trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to share. I don't think there is right now. So I will let that settle and land with you. As ever, really open to you getting in touch and just letting me know what your plans are. If you've been listening to this and you're I'm not quite sure which option is best for me, just pop me a message. Like I say, Instagram's probably the best place, or you can always pop me over an email. I'm nicola@nicolahumber.com, and let's have a conversation. Let's see what would be a great next step for you. All right. Wow, let's see what 2024 has in store for us. Sending you lots of love, and I will be back with you again soon for another episode of the Unbound Writers Club. What do you do when you want to write a book, but the usual approaches are leaving you feeling restricted, pressurized, not at all enough, and pretty dry, to be honest? you find another way, of course. And if you are listening to this, my free unconventional book writing guide is going to be perfect for you. It's designed especially for soul-led coaches, healers, and mentors who want to write a transformational book without spending hours on end chained to a desk. In it, I'm giving you my unique spin on the top 10 questions I hear from would-be authors. And it's going to help you liberate the way you write forever. Download your free copy of the guide now over at nicolahumber.com/10, the number 10, 10 hyphen questions.